Hi, it's Jez here from nigezza.co.uk. That's a good start. Thank you for joining me today. I am recovering from having lost my voice, so just a little bit croaky still, a lot better than it was. So it's the 1st of May and it's Stamp Around UK. So on the 1st of every month at 6 p.m. UK time, a bunch of us UK Stampin' Up demonstrators do a video hop. I will link down below to everybody's YouTube, so do pop along and see what everybody else has made. Press some likes, leave a comment and subscribe if you haven't already. So you've landed on me or you've started with me, and so welcome. Our theme this month is wedding. So I didn't want to make a wedding card. I thought I'd go for wedding favour boxes. And I'm inspired by Sally Stampers. Just recently been on a team event, a get-together, the Pootlers, and I received this gorgeous box in a swap from Sally. I chose the purple one, of course, because it's my favourite colour. And I thought, how amazing. And on the inspiration table, Jane from Craft with Jane had made a much bigger one. So this is using a 6x6 sheet. Jane used a 12x12 sheet. And so I thought I'd make my twist on it. Now, this is my practice. To do it, so literally twisted the top to put my twist on it. So it's my prototype using some celebration paper there, so made it exactly the same, except I twisted the top to create that top. And then I decided, well, I've done a 6x6, I've seen a 12x12, let's do an 8x8. So this is my prototype using 8x8, quite big for a table favour, but I thought this one, if you were having little tables of you could have one between 4, say, and I stashed it full of all my goodies that I got in my swaps. And so this is, again, celebration paper. Quite liked it. So I am going down a bit of a different road with the colours that I am using. She says, trying to find her paper, and I'm going for Sweet Talk. I was using my scan and cut the other day. You can see how this page here is a bit decimated. I cut out all these hearts to make a card, which will be on my blog in a few weeks. And whilst I was doing it, I thought, oh, well, why don't I do a love heart table favour? And I've got all these hearts cut out. She says reaching across. I can't actually pick it up. There we go. So these are all the things that I have cut out with my scan and cut. Got sweets, I've got the hearts. So anybody not in the UK going, why are you calling these love hearts? That's because we have sweets here in the UK and they're called love hearts. This was in one of my swaps. Yeah, so I think they're called conversation sweets or conversation hearts in other parts of the world, but love hearts here. So yeah, so I thought they may, at least could be confetti on a table as well. So they're just cut out and in one of these lovely free, you get a free chocolate pudding with every glass jar in Aldi. Anyway, so I've got this sheet, I quite like it. So I discounted some of the sheets because they were directional and I didn't like the other side, but I thought this would actually look quite good together. So I've used some of it for a project. For the life of me, can't remember what project I've used it on. So I'm going to cut it down to 8x8 before we start. You could use 6x6, you could use any square So you could do 10 by 10. You could do 9 by 9. It doesn't have to be even. Even. Doesn't even have to be even. But I thought I'd do 8 by 8, and that gives me, that's sort of enough for a card base if I wanted to. That could go on a card. So there we go, 8 by 8. So I'm going to keep this. I'm going to do a bit of scoring. You could just fold. I just don't like my folding. So scoring then at 4, straight down the middle. At 4 again, straight down the middle. You could just fold them in half if you wanted to. And then we're going to do a diagonal score as well. And I'm going to do it on my trimmer. So the way I do it is you've got a little gap there. And if you pop the corner up, fits, and it sort of holds it in place. And if you put the point right where the track is, and then at the bottom here, right where the track is, you know you've got it in the right place. There you go, full of tips. I've done this before. I don't start at the point because you might you know, you would cause damage to the point, so I start somewhere in the middle. There we go, that's that done. And then I use these as a butt, so I'm going to open that up again, so to help me get it nicely folded. So put that down there, because even though you've scored it, it might be ever so slightly out, so score there. Part of the reason why I chose to do a bigger size for the video, it's easier to see. So you would make the smaller one in exactly the same way, but demonstrating on a bigger one, as I say, does enable you to see it a bit better. So there we go, that's our folding. And now we're going to fold in. We've got triangles on each side. Choose any triangle, it doesn't matter, to fold in, and fold in the other side, and you're making a square like that. This is a similar sort of fold to a sort of a wow card. You can put this inside a card and it opens up and you've got a bit of a wow. So it's a little bit of a mouth going on there. So you put your square as a diamond, fold in the two corners, fold it up, give it a good burnish in place like that. Okay, so we're like that. We've got our opening here at the bottom. We're going to take the top corner, leave the bottom corner there, and we're going to fold this edge to that line there. And this is the point at which I put my glasses on so that I can see what I'm doing. And you fold it down. You are now folding down 2 layers of cardstock, so it is a bit stiff, but it's all right. So folding that down like so. This reminds me of folding nappies, those that are of the generation that wasn't disposable nappies. This is how we used to fold up a nappy, not the bottom bit, but we used to make like a kite shape. I was a disposable nappy generation, but I did use terries as well. And then I progressed to those ones that are cloth nappies that are shaped, already shaped for you. You've got Velcro. There we go. I did experiments because of the planet. So then we've got that, and then what you do is you go, I'm just going to put my bone folder in there, and you just open out this bit here. this little hood, and you line that crease with those two folded edges there with the score line underneath, and you're making like a triangle there. Okay, and you repeat on the other side, folding down there. And repeat on the other side. So we've got that sort of shape going on there. And then this bit gets folded up. We've not got a very pretty point there, but it's actually doesn't really matter. It's going on the bottom. And then you put the point up to that score line there, and you're folding it as far as it'll go here. It will stop at these points here. So fold it up like so. I'm doing this without my glasses. You're lining up the score line with the score line. So you've got that going on there, and then you want to just glue that down. I'm going to use Tombow. You can leave the end point a bit because you can stick that down afterwards. Probably need to fill this up. Do you know what? I'm just going to abandon it. I haven't filled it up. This is the one I got out to fill it up with, and then I didn't do it. There we go. That's probably quite a lot of Tombow there. Just going to give that, and then that will stick down. I'm using Tombow because it sticks really, really well. There we go. So that's that. Then we turn it round and we do exactly the same on this side here. So we are, I might speed this bit up. So that's that. So you've got your two sides like that, and then you want to open this up so you've got the other two sides exposed. So they're hidden and they're exposed. So now you've already got the crease line there, so you're just folding that in, folding that side in like so, and then this will fold up. So the last two sides are a lot easier. So then you can see they're all about the same level. Stick that down, and then the last one again, you can see you've got a crease line there and a crease line there, and that is, you're just folding over on that line. And that is what you end up with. A bit of a bishop's mitred hat going on there. Okay, so that's what we've got. And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull it open. And this is where you got to fight a little bit, just a little tad, with the paper to come out. There we go. And then you've got these bottom bits that need just going in with my finger to round them out. There we go. And then you've got these little bits now. I didn't glue the ends because I want to glue them now on the bottom. So a bit of Tombow on there, and hold it in place just for a few seconds, and hopefully it will stick down. There we go. So that is the bottom of the box, and so now we need to make the base of the box, at the top of the box even. So to know what size you want, I just measured the aperture and it was just over 2 inches is what I found. Bringing in my ruler there, measuring the inside point, and it is about 2 1/16. This one, I did it as 2 inches, and can you hear? There's a little bit of movement on there. So I'm going to do 2 1/16 instead. So the way I worked it out was it's 2 1/16 across. I want ½ an inch on each side, so that's plus 1 inch. So we want to cut 3 1/16 square to make that inner bit. And then I went 1/4 inch overlap for these decorative bits. So we're then going to cut, add a half. You can ignore that 16th now because it's not really that important. So you can go 3 1/2 for these top bits. Is that in fact what I did? 2 1/2 even. Yeah, what a plonker, because it comes down to 2/16. So yeah, so it's 2 1/2. So the opening is 2 1/16. You want to add a little 1/4 inch on each side, so you want to add a half. So rather than mess about with a 16th, you can either go 2 1/2 or 2 3/4, whichever you want to do. Okay, so they're all cut out. So that is 3 1/16 by 3 1/16. These two are 2 1/2 by 2 1/2. Then I've cut a white, basic white mat. So that is 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. And then a mat in the DSP 2 by 2. Okay, so that is all ready now to go on the lid. So we're going to do a little bit of scoring on this one. So for those of you who are like, I don't know how to do a 16th. So if we look there on the 3, you've got a little one and then a slightly taller one, a little one and a slightly taller one. So each of these little marks are a 16th. So I just went 3 and then over slightly there. That's got me 3 and a 16th. And I turned it around and did exactly the same there. So we are going to score this at ½ an inch. I'm going to the ½ an inch on this side. You can use scoreboard, but I've got my trimmer. So score ½ an inch, twizzle, score ½ an inch, twizzle, score ½ an inch, twizzle, score ½ an inch. Okay, now on this one, Sally made the top bit. She sort of did a reinforced thing, but I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I did this without. I've got thick on there. It's fine. So fold and burnish this. So making this as if you were making a box, really. A box base or a box lid. Okay, and then we're going to come in with our scissors and we're just going to cut straight up there and just notch, notch. Okay, I like to rotate mine round. You don't have to. I just always do that. So I make like a pinwheel shape. I don't mean it looks like a pin. You know when you used to make your own pinwheels? You know that you attach to a stick and it blows in the wind. And that was what you did for them. So, which reminds me of a pinwheel. There we go. Oh, didn't cut that one very well because you haven't pulled your glasses down, Jez. They're still on top of your head. There we go. So we're just going to stick those. So I'm going to use fast fuse for a bit of quickness here. So fast fuse, similar strength to Stampin' Seal Plus. I've just got shed loads of it still from years ago when Stampin' Up used to sell it, and they did a wonderful offer, and I stocked up and I've still got loads. There we go. I've got so much glue in my craft room, it's unreal, but I don't want to run out. Do not want to run out. So there we go. There we are. So that is the underside. I'm just going to check it out before we go any further. So that should now fit inside this, and it does. Okay. And then we're going to stick that to the fast fuse. So I'm just going to go around the cut edges, flatten them out. There we go. So one of them is just going to get stuck on there. So we'll now decorate this. So I'm going to concentrate on these two because I want to make a hole. So I just made a hole in these two bits before I stuck it on that, and that's how I attached the ribbon. I've used there a 3/4 inch circle punch and a 1 inch circle punch. There's a bit of me that's going to go smaller. I know we don't sell these anymore, but we did used to, and I'm sure you've probably got little circle punches in your stash, and if you're like me, you don't get rid of your punches. Punches are my favourite thing. So I'm going to use 3/4 inch and 1/2 inch. So, but before I do that, I want to make a hole. So I am using my crocodile, and I'm going to use the smallest hole. One of my friends I saw at the weekend, Karen, Tilly Crafts, she went, "I blame you, Jez." She went, "I've bought a crocodile. It's all your fault." Well, it's a very useful tool. Had mine years and years. So the easiest way I find to get your circle in the middle is to punch a hole first, then you can line it up to the centre. Bit of me now thinking, did I use the bigger hole? I don't know. There we go. Same again. Didn't write anything down, I just did it. There we go. So those two can go together, and that'll be in the middle. Yeah, I think I prefer it smaller. Do think I prefer it smaller. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stick that to that. This is slightly too crocodile will only reach 1 inch, and to get the centre point of this is 1 inch. So this would be 1.25 inches to go to the centre, so it doesn't reach. I do have a big bite as well. Finally, that was birthday present in lockdown. But I'm just gonna poke a hole. Just gonna poke a hole. I want it to be middle. So I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to measure what 1 1/4 is on this. You're not going to see this bit. So 1, no, it's 1 1/8, isn't it? It's 2 1/4 that way, so I want to go 1 1/8. So marking there 1 1/8, marking there 1 1/8. Feeling all paper daisy crafting here with my pencil and my ruler. She's very precise, my friend Jill. There we go. Don't need it all the way across, I just want to find the centre point. And then we do the same here. I do 2 dots so you can line them together. 1 1/4, go there. 1 1/4. Then I can join these 2 up. There we go, that's my centre point found. And then I'm going to take my pokey tool, a little piercing mat, and I'm just going to poke a hole in there. Okay, so that is the middle-ish. Oh, craft a lunch. And I'm just going to take my bone folder to flatten that down a little bit. So these have got nice neat holes, so that'll cover that up quite nicely. Okay, so I'm just going to stick those together. You could put a message on like Sally has on hers, but I haven't. I decided not to. So now we need a bit of ribbon, and in this suite, I think it's in this suite, not sure, we've got this faux linen ribbon. So just gonna, just judging ish. I think that'll be enough. Those who like to know, I've cut about 5 inches off there. So I'm just gonna poke that through. So you could make all the holes with a pokey tool if you wanted to. There we go. So we've got a little tie there, and then these need to just be stuck down. I'm using a bit of tear and tape for that. Cover it all in glue. And then stick that on top of there. And I did think when I was making this that you could do this for graduation, couldn't you? This would be quite a nice little mortarboard. If that was a tassel, it's almost like you're making a mortarboard. You can make this as a graduation present. My niece was sharing pictures of her graduation. Yes, no, she graduated in lockdown, like an awful lot of people, and now universities are putting on graduations for them, which I'm delighted about. I was delighted to be able to, for my son to finally get a graduation. So there we go. So that needs to now go on here. So I'm going to stick it on. No, I'm not. I'm sticking that on first. That's what I did, Jez. That's what you did. I'm not sticking it like that. Burke, it's that one that's going diagonal. This one's going all over. There. So I'm just going to go all the way over this. That's going to have bits of glue on the side that we don't want. So now what we're doing is we're looking down to line that up. Without my glasses, so I've got no idea. There we go. That's about right. Yeah, can't see any of that glue now. There we go. Give it a good little burnish. There we go. And this is the one that's going on the diagonal. Idiot. So plenty of glue. Don't want it to come off. So put that like that. And then lining it up. So when I was thinking about this, I was thinking, oh, I want to put my own little twist on it. And I thought, oh, twist. Let's literally twist the lid. Oh, that is what I did. So I'm just pressing that down because the ribbon stops you a little bit. There we go. So now that fits on top there, like so, and you got yourself a nice little lidded box. And you could put hearts in. I've got little love hearts here, which I thought might look good. And I got a little bit of shredded paper. So if you want to be a little bit stingy, stick a bit shredded paper in there, and little red hearts would be quite nice, wouldn't they? But there we go. A couple of packets of love hearts there on top. Stick on your lid. Wedding favour there already. Okay, I hope you like that. And I will have all the measurements, well, the measurements really for the lid, over on my blog. You can make these to any size, and you just have to measure that hole to get the dimensions for the lid. Sally's blog has, or video has, the measurements for using 6x6. They're in centimetres. So if you're a centimetre fan, you've got them in centimetres. But yeah, hope you like that. Go and check out everybody else. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And I will be back with another project. I've been working on my authored book. It is almost finished. So excited about that. Hope you've been enjoying my junk journal series as well. Okay, see you all again soon. Bye for now.